Welcome back to Red Hawk Media. Today we're taking a look at masking, and what better example than NCIS to start with here. This is a show that my wife and I had actually been watching quite a bit, and they use quite a bit of masking in this opening intro here, and it's used really well to kind of montage a number of clips together, and let's go ahead and take a look at an example. You're going to see a set pattern. We've got Gibbs here. Then we got Gibbs with masking overlay. Tenozo with the masking. And then we have Abby Shudo. And then Sean Murray. And of course, the Autopsy Gremlin. And there we go, Director Vance. We can see that Ducky, for instance, here has a layer on top of another layer. So he is smoothly cut out around the outside of him, and then he is laid over that background image that we've got going on there. And that's what we're going to attempt today. We're going to take two video clips and overlay them, applying a mask using After Effects. Let's get started. Here's the quick example of what we came up here. I've got two clips, one laid over the top of the other one with a mask applied. This is what the project's going to look like when we're done in After Effects, to give you an idea. We have two different video clips. We have the top one, or the back one, that is actually masked here. And I just took out the part that I didn't want. That's how the mask is working. And then we've got the background clip, actually, that's sitting behind the masked clip. And you know, that's sitting over the top. To give you an idea of how this is here, you can see where the mask is and where the mask isn't. It's a little hard to tell at first when you take a first glance at it. So let's go ahead and get started with the actual putting this together. I'm going to go ahead and take these out and start off with the beginning parts of what I had. So on this particular clip, I got rid of the masking. So now you can't see anything that's going on in the clip behind. I trimmed them down to size so that they matched up exactly. They're the same exact length. And let's go ahead and get this relined up with that back one here so that you can see what I started off with roughly right about there. Okay, so the idea is I want to cut around the outside here, and then I'm going to use the door frame as kind of a cutoff area so that it's a clear line and it's kind of a natural transition into the other clip. So with your top clip, you're going to have to look for stuff like that that makes a transition. If your background doesn't have any kind of lines to it whatsoever, you would have to mask all the way around yourself, and then you would use the bottom clip as the background. So there's my bottom clip, and let's go ahead and get that line back up in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this works. With the top clip, back to this, I'm going to go ahead and click on my masking tool. Okay, and I make sure that it's selected, click on the masking tool, and now very quickly I'm just going to work around the outside here. And I may lose a couple edges here. You want to be a little bit more meticulous about this so that you're not losing anything. The more points, the better, but also the more points means the more that you're going to have to worry about when you start making changes to the mask. That tuft of hair is going to have to go. I'm going to lose some of my frizzies here, and we've got this. Now, I can go from here one of two ways. I can go around this way, which means this is going to be all the stuff that I'm going to keep. Or I could go around this way and it's going to be all the stuff that I'm going to get rid of. Whichever you decide, it doesn't really matter. I can go around like this so that I'm keeping this whole area here. And then we'll just connect that up. Alright, so that stays. And now if we put on the other clip, there we have it. Now, we're not done because obviously I'm going to move throughout this clip here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is starting at the end, working backwards, I'm going to keyframe my mask so that it follows me, follows my movements. I'm going to have to go to the layer that I have the mask applied to, and I'm going to have to drop down the mask and open it up like this. Now what we're interested in keying or adding different keyframes for is the actual mask path. Okay, so I'm going to start there. Now I can use page up or page down to navigate frame by frame where I'm going here. So page up will take me backwards, and I go ahead and move that along until I see some variations here. I'm going to get my pointer tool, Okay, and some quick keys that you can use to switch up to your pointer tool. It's V. All right, and then another one that's pretty handy is H for the hand tool to actually move things around. You're going to have to zoom in to see what's going on here because you can see I've got some white around my hair. Now another suggestion, depending on how fast your setup is, you might want to change the resolution of what you're looking at too. I've got it at a third right now because our graphics card is not very good whatsoever. If I put it at a full, every time I make a click, it's going to really labor. So I'll give you an idea here. Once I get going, it's going to slow down on me. It's nice to look at. It's good resolution, and it's giving me a good clear picture. And then I hit page up. Now keep in mind I checked this stopwatch on the mask path to record all of the changes that I'm making to the mask. So I hit page up, go to the next frame, and once again I go ahead and make those changes. They are little changes as we go here. So, keep them simple, not too dramatic, otherwise you're going to have a lot of movement going around there. Okay, and bring this back right there. Okay, page up. And looking for those variations. And this is the tedious part. Okay, this is the part that takes a while to manually go through and mask everything like this. If I need to see the bottom part, I can click H for the hand tool. I can move that down here, double check that my shirt is still masked properly and that the collar isn't being lost and all that, and go along very carefully. Again, I hit page up, look for any changes that are going on here. Right now, pretty good there. Looks like I might be losing a little bit of my cheek. So I hit V to go back to the pointer tool. And just change this up ever so slightly. Don't want to leave any white. I happen to record over a white background, which wasn't the best idea for this particular one, because any white is going to show up against this black background. Okay. Now, after I go through and I mask all of those here, and you can see there is definitely some movement that goes on in the clip overall. Then what I can do is I can position that back clip to match up the way that I want it to. So right now, there's not a whole lot of difference between these two. You can't tell what I'm doing in this clip whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this clip here, and I'm going to drag it over like I did so we can see exactly what's happening in this clip. Now, don't want to lose me out of the shot there, but right there you can see that I'm actually typing on the keyboard, working at the computer, and it might work out because I've got a little bit lighter background over here, so that white doesn't show up quite as much. Obviously, I'm still going to have to do a good job of keying the mask, though. But now I've got this all put together after I key it all out, and I've got everything selected. I've got my two clips. I'm going to want to cut down my work area so that it matches up exactly to the clip size. So I go ahead and on the work frame, or the work area here, I'm going to grab the ending of it and set it up so that it ends exactly the same as my two video clips. So I drag that in. Now what I can do is I can go and right click on it, and I can go trim comp to work area. Boom. Alright, now I've got all that. So I'm all set up here. Okay, and obviously this is what it's going to look like when it's all keyed properly. I'd want to make some few changes there so that doesn't look all jittery on the hair. But you've got the rough idea of how you can create your mask, track the mask path. I wouldn't recommend any feathering on this because you're going to be working on a hard edge here, and you want it as crisp as possible. So try to follow the lines of your shoulders and your hair. Keep it as simple as possible. And remember, use natural lines in the background to make that transition from door frame here into the other part of my classroom. But that's about it for the masking. And we've got the NCIS kind of appearance here. That's the end of our tutorial. Thanks again for joining us with Red Hawk Media. Bye.